Hi guys, and welcome to Employee Access Database Connector using C#. So let me show you guys how this works. We can always delete every single content in here if we want. So I'm going to say okay, there, that is it, gone. And we can also add. So let's say who we are adding is Paul. And the email address of little man. There we go. All we then need to do is just to click on save. And when we click on save, we should be able to see Paul's details right in here. So click on save. There we go. That is Paul Ajayi's details right there. Supposing we have more than one Paul Ajayi, I'm going to click on save again. There we go. We can always delete one. Okay, just select what you want to delete and click on delete. There, gone. Now, the other thing is that we can do is we can search, enter the candidate number, the employee number. There, just click on search, and there we go. Okay, we can also update, okay, reset, view data, and so on. Okay, we can print, exit out, and we can even exit. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys to C# development environment, and we put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Hi, and welcome to C# tutorial of Access Database Connection. So I'm going to start by clicking on create new project, and let's click on next. Let's give the project a name. I'm going to call it CS underscore employee access connect. There we go. And I will click on create. Okay, my development environment is ready. I'm going to change the font size to something more user friendly. So let's change that to about 1386 by 788. There we go. Now you see the font here. I'm just going to call that access data base connection. There we go. Now the next thing I want to do is, you see, I'm going to go straight to the project here. Click on project, and let's select, you see, manage new get package. What we want to do is to connect the OL. Let's go to browse first, and we'll go in and look for OLED. There we go, and make sure you just select the system.olde database, then click on install and click on OK. There we go. It's successfully connected to this very system now. So I'm going to go back to the form design. We can always close this. We don't need that anymore. Inside the form design, let's carry out the following. I'm going to add. Let's go to the toolbox. Inside the toolbox, I need a panel. So let's come into all window form or Windows form panel. There we go. We have a panel on board. And this very panel, I'm just going to change the appearance to, let's go to border style. I'm going to change that to fixed 3D. There we go. And here, that will be for my title. Just drag it that much. And let's right click and copy again. There. And in here, I'm going to have my data and so on. So let's move these so that we can see that. There. Move this all the way. That's fine. And I'm going to copy this. Bring it down first before I copy it. Now Control C, just copy. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to drag this that much, something like that, and bring this down a little bit more. Alright, looking good. Now the next thing I want to do is I am going to copy these again, the one right on top, just bring it down. There we go. Now one thing is, let me change the background color because I can hardly see. Just click on the background and let's change that to something we can all see. Let's go to background. I'm going to change that to cadet blue. There we go. Now because I changed the background to cadet blue, all of my panel, they've all inherited that very color. I'm going to change them back to Control. That is the default color for them. There we go, they're now back in Control. So let's come back to our toolbox. I'm going to grab hold of, okay, let's grab hold of a data grid view and just dump that in here. Very good, we have data grid view on board. Now we need labels and text box. Label, text box, and button. Put a button here underneath here, and we need labels. Let's grab hold of one label, put that here. We can also copy that label, put it up there for my title. Scroll right down and let's grab hold of a text box. There we go. Now we need two objects. Those two objects will be for printing and so on. So let's come up here. I think we should be able to see print document. There we go, double click on that, and we also need print preview dialog. There, those two objects, look at them right there. That is good. Now let's start with the development of the interface. First of all, let's select this one up there, change the font size, pin this down, change the font size to something readable. Click on that, click on font, and I'm going to make that maybe about, let's go for about maybe 68. There, take it up. Okay, not too bad. Now let's change the details on it. We just change that to access, database, connection. There. I think that is fine. Right. Let's see if it's alright. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, now select these two components in there. Grab hold of this as well. Or maybe I should just select the button as well. Now let's change that to something a bit readable. Make that bold. Scroll right down. Make it about maybe 28. Alright. Okay, that's good. Now let's come in here. We need to copy these across. We're going to need about 6 of those. So let's select that and copy, Control. Just hold on to the Control, click and drag. We have 4. We need 2 more. Okay, we're going to need more room. That's good. So you should be able to occupy the whole space. Bring it down. Now select and dump it there. Very good. That's brilliant. Okay, now we need to bring this one down. This very one here. Just move it down a little bit and bring this right down. And here I'm going to have my search button in here. Copy this and bring it right here. There we go. Oh, undo that. Hold on to the Control, click and drag. There. Alright, that's my search for the search button. I'll put this one right here. Now let's change the details in here. This is going to be known as employee ID, and text content is going to be employee ID. Let's change that to TXT, employee ID. That's fine. Now this is going to be first name, TXT first name. and the label is going to be known as first name. Select the label, change that to first name. Now we have surname here. And the text box right in front of that will be known as txt surname. Paste. Then the next one, I'm going to change that to, let's go for email, txt email. And this will be email. There we go. Then we have address here. Text box is going to be known as txt address. There. We have mobile here. That's txt mobile. And the label, that will be known as txt. No, that will be known as label. Will be known as mobile. There we go, all done. Okay, that's looking good now. So we just need to take care of this. Let's move it back a little bit. That's good. Now the next thing we want to do is to add our buttons. Right here, this button is going to be known as save data. And this is known as btn save data. Save data. There we go. Let's copy that. We have 2, we have 3. Bring it here. We have one more here. Let's see if we can squeeze one here. Okay, so we have about 5 in there, which means we need enough room. We can always shrink this. We need one more button space. Okay, so let's change the names of this around first. So this one is going to be known as btn. btn update. Nice one. Scroll right down, change the text content to update. Select this. Delete. Change that to delete. Copy delete and change the name to btn delete. Next one, that is going to be known as reset. btn reset. Text content will be known as reset. Bring it down. Next, that's going to be known as view. Yeah, we can view, so we might as well enter view in there. View data. And the variable name will be known as btn view data. Paste. There. Okay, we're going to need 2 more buttons, so I'm just going to reduce the size of all these buttons. Let's see this one, that is fine. So let's see the size of that. Okay, that's 53. Okay, select it all and change it all to the same size. Okay, we should have enough room now. So I'm just going to adjust that and get back to you guys. Okay, we seem to have enough room now. I'm going to select this last one, hold on to the control, click and drag. Brilliant. Let's change that to btn exit. There we go. And text content will be known as exit. There. And right up here, I'm going to copy these very exits. Let's take it right up. And that will be for the search. Dump it right there. Just reduce the size of this. and change this one to search. And the variable name will be btn exit. No, btn search. Done. That's brilliant, and this is going to be known as txt search. That is good, guys. So all taken care of. So I'm going to run it right now. Just save that. Let's run it and you guys see how that looks like. Right there, this is how it's looking. All I just need to do now is just to tidy it up a little bit. Move this up and bring some of this down. That's good. So close that. Okay, so let's do one thing. Just need to move this down a little bit. Bring it right down. Now the next thing we want to do is make sure that it's saved. The next thing that we want to do right now is to select access. We want to create a database. So in here I'm just going to click on blank database, and right here let's give that a name. I'm just going to call it eSave employee save data. eSave, that's good. eSave data, let's put data on it. That's good. The E stands for employee. So I'm going to click on create. There, you see this? Right click on that table and save, and I'm going to change that to eSave as well. eSave data. That makes life easy when I want to connect my database. Click on. Okay, so now right click on it again and let's select design view. I'm going to get rid of this primary key, and this one is going to be the very first field will be employee ID, and I'm going to change the data type to short, and the next is going to be first name. Come right down here, change that to surname. Then the next one is going to be, I think I call that email. We have address. Then we have mobile. There we go. That's my database ready. Okay, I'm going to right click and just view the table. Save. There we go. My table is ready. Okay, that's fine. Save everything. I can even close it if I want. Yeah, close the table. I know the location where it's saved. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is, first of all, let's double click on this exit. Double click on that, and in there let's do this. Let's call the dialog result. Dialog result. There we go. And I'm going to call that I quit. There, that's the name of my variable. Come right down here, let's use an if statement. If no I quit, let's use the following: equals message box dot show. Okay, and what do I want in there? I'm going to say confirm if you want to exit. There we go. So that's the very first argument. Okay, the next argument is going to be message box. No, let's enter employee. That would be the title, employee database. Employee database, that's fine. Then enter another comma. The next one is going to be message box buttons dot yes or no, comma again, and the last argument is going to be message box icon. Message box icon. The icon I intend to use is going to be a question. There we go. And here just enter semicolon. There we go. Now we can use an if statement. Now if whatever you select, I quit, if that is equals dialog results, do that again, dialog results, that is it right there, double click on it, dot yes. If it's yes, then enter curly braces, just say application.exit. I prefer it this way because it will actually prompt the user to confirm if they want to exit or not. That is why I decided to do it this way. You can always just type in application exit. That makes no sense because the user can just lose all what they've been working on. Look, you see that? That is very good. Asking you to confirm. Are you sure you want to exit? Yes, I do want to exit. That is fine. Now the next thing I want to do is let's take care of another very easy one. Let's take care of reset. Double click on reset. Inside reset, I'm just going to enter txt. The first one is this dot. Let's say clear. Yeah, we can use that. There we go. So it's going to clear that. Let's do the same thing for the next one. txt, first name, clear. txt surname, clear. txt mobile, clear. txt address, clear. txt email, clear. Now finally txt search, I'm going to say dot text, that will be equals search. So I intend to enter search in there. Very good. So that is taken care of. That's for my reset button. Now let's come back in here. Let's select the search text box. Come in here, paste that in there, and change the data in there. Now let's change the appearance of the font. Make it a little bit very light. Let's look for something. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Just like you have in browsers. Okay, that's fine. Now, the next thing that we want to do is to get our database connected. Let's go straight into server here. Look at this Server Explorer. If you don't have a Server Explorer, you can always go straight to Windows and select Reset Window Layout and just click on Yes. And all of the components will be set back to their default state. Okay, now select Server Explorer. Now that up here you will see connect to database. Can you guys see that? Now click on that. Once you click on that, it opens up this dialog. The data source that we're using is Microsoft Access Database. If you are using a different one, you can always change it right there. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do now is to browse to the database that I've just created. It's in my document. It's called eSave Data. There we go. Click on that and select OK. That is it. Get rid of this admin and right here just select test. There we go. It's successful. That is good. Now click on admin. Remember that. Click on admin. Once you click on admin, that is the address of your database, the name of the OLDB properties. You can just drag this. You need to copy this. You're going to need that. I'm going to right click on it. I've already selected this. Copy. Click on OK. And click on OK. Get rid of this admin first. I don't want that. Click on OK. I've copied that because I need it. There. Now I'm going to go straight into my form. Double click on the form. Now back here, you see where we have the usernames. I'm going to come down there and just enter using system dot data dot OLEDB. There we go. That is it right there. So the next thing that I want to do now is I'm going to create the following. Let's come right in here. You see where we have public partial class from 1 underneath in there. I'm going to ask the system OLEDB connection. Let's see, connection should be there somewhere. There we go. And I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it con. That will be equals new OLDB connection. Okay, now I'm going to open up a bracket, and inside that bracket I'm going to enter art. Then the next thing is enter to speech mark. There we go. Remember the part that was copied from this server, the part that I copied. If you forgetting the part, right click on it, go to the properties. You should be able to see the part right here. That is the part that I copied. Okay, I'm now going to paste the part right inside the to speech mark here. Get rid of that and just paste. There we go. That is the part that was copied. Right at the end, enter semicolon. I have now officially connected my database to the system. So let's run it. Nothing is going to happen though, but if there's any problem, there will be an error. So run. As you can see, there's no error. So my database is officially connected. I'm going to exit out. Click on exit, and let's double click on the save data. So whenever we enter any data in there, we should be able to save it. So double click on save data. Right, so let's see, let's try and increase the font size so that you guys can see what will be happening. Let's come right down here. Fonts should be somewhere. Select this. That's the font 16. That should have been big enough, so let's make it 20. Okay, so alright, inside my save data, I'll just double click on this button to get there. So the very first thing I want to do is, before I continue, is let's first of all declare some variable right underneath here. So those two variables are going to be right underneath or inside the public patcher class as well. So I'm going to call that checks. There. So that's the name of that variable. So in fact, let's give it a value. Checks is 0, because I'm going to need that. The next one is I'm going to call this bitmap. This bitmap, I will be using that for the printing or for the print function. There we go. I need those two variables. I'm going to need a function that will make life easy, but let's do this first. Double click on this, and the very first thing I want to do now, I'm going to use a try cache just in case if I run into any problem. There we go. And underneath here, I'm going to put a cache statement right there. And the cache statement is going to take in the following: exception. I'm going to call it exception EX. Come right down, enter, curly braces. And in there, I'm going to be lazy. Let's copy this message box that I've already. Let's copy everything. There we go. Copy that and paste it right in here. That's going to output my message. Paste it right in here. And I'll just change this one to ex dot message. So the ex dot message, that will be the inbuilt message from the system. And this one, instead of yes or no, I'm going to change that to okay. And let's change this to just information, giving the end user an information or error message. Yeah, error message dot error. So that's good. So that's my error message display. And right here inside the try catch, the system will first of all try to open. So let's say use our connections dot open, enter parenthesis and semicolon. And I'm now going to say OL. So that will be for the command that I'm going to be using to execute the whole project. OL equals, let's say CMD equals connect dot create command. There we go. Okay, it's going to create the command that will lead to the connection. So we then say CMD dot command type, and that is going to be equals command type text dot text. There. Now cmd command text, this very one, that is where we're going to enter our query. I want the system to insert into, remember the name of your database. That is very important. If you can't remember, you can always go straight to the connections. That is the name of my database there, save data. Grab hold of that and come right down here. Just paste it in here. Insert into save data. And what are we inserting in there? We're inserting as follows: employee ID, comma, everything you have on your database, first name, comma, surname, comma, I think I have email, comma, then have address, comma, and finally I have mobile. Alright, should be 6. There we go. We have 6 of those in there. So the next thing is, let's cover this up. Okay, and I am going to ask you to enter the following value. Let's say value. So we're going to say values equals as follows. So open up bracket. Now in here, inside our very bracket, we're going to put single apostrophe and quote. Alright, then we then put a plus sign. In fact, let's put double plus sign, and we then close that very space mark with an apostrophe in there. So right in here, I'm going to put the name of this very one. This one is called txt. Grab hold of that and just paste it right in there, in between the plus sign, dot text. There we go. So that is the very first one taken care of. So the next one is going to be for the first name. Look, I might as well just copy this, copy all of this, and right in here I'm going to put a comma, then I'm going to paste. Okay, copy this again and paste this one right there as well. So this copied one, that is going to be first name. Very good. Then this one is going to be surname. That's good. I'll come right here. The next one is, I'm going to paste that one here. That is going to be, I think that is, what did I call it? Email. So email. Very good. Very good. Now the next one, let's paste this one in here. That is going to be address. Now the last one, that is mobile. There. Okay, all done. Before I round it all up, I'm going to come in here. I'll just press enter so that we'll go to the next line. Then you guys will be able to see it all properly. So in here, just press enter. Very good. Now you can see it all. Then I'm going to get rid of this excess speech mark here. This is where I want to get rid of that. And right here, just enter semicolon. There, you see that the error is all gone. I presume you guys can see it all. Yeah, you can. That's good. So those are my six objects. Now the next thing we now want to do after that is we need to now get the command that says cmd dot, that will be execute non-query. Let's see, let's say E, execute non-query, enter semicolon. And after that, you can close the system, or you can also enter a message. So let me enter a message there, then I'll just close it. I can copy this message anyway, copy that, paste it right underneath here, and I'm just going to enter my message that record saved. That's my message done. Instead of error message, let's call that information dot information. That is it. That's good. Now underneath here, let's close the whole lot. Let's close the connection. You now come in here and just say connection closed. Connect dot close. There. That is good. So let's do one thing now. Let's run it and see if it's going to work. I'm going to save that. But before I run it, let me just show you guys the save lines of code one more time. Let's have a good look at it. Okay, so let's run it now. Remember, the code starts from try catch all the way down here. Alright, click on run. Let's see, we're waiting for the system to respond. There we go. So far, no error, but decision time. Employee ID, employee name. I'm going to call, let's say John. No, let's say Paul. Paul. So we call that Paul Ajayi. Paul Ajayi is a newborn baby, and welcome to the new world. Alright, let's give it his own email. Yeah, let's say at Gmail. There we go. An address, I don't know where he lives. Let's say Little Venice. There we go. Mobile number. There. Now this decision time. Let's click on save. We do have an error. So let's see why. So it's telling me number of query, values, and destination field are not the same. So let's click on OK. I'm going to close that, and let's look in here. Okay, I think I spotted the error. That is it right there. I was meant to enter a semicolon, but instead I have a full stop in there. So change that to semicolon, and that's it. So I'm going to save that and run it again. Click on run. It's coming up now. There we go, guys. Now let's enter employee details, and the name is going to be the little man Paul, and then enter his surname and email. At gmail.com. An address, let's say 17 Little Venice. And mobile number. There. So decision time. Let's click on save. There we go. The system is now successful. Look at that. That's brilliant. There. Okay, I'm going to have a look at the database itself. This is the database. Double click on it. So if it's officially saved, we should be able to see the details of the little man Ajayi right there, Paul Ajayi. So double click on that. There we go. That's Paul Ajayi's details on the system. So close that. And another way out for you guys to view the data, you can also view it right in here. Go to the server and double click on, no, just drop it down, go to the table, right click on the table database and select retrieve data, and there, that is it. Okay, that is fine. Now let's go back to design view and double click on update. We need to take care of that as well. With the update, I'm just going to copy everything I have inside the save, come right down here and grab it all. Yeah, copy that, scroll right down and just paste that in here. There. And now we update, we're going to have to change this to update. And we will then delete the following. Let's get rid of this and we just change that to, that is the name, and here we just ask it to set. I'm going to get rid of everything that I have in here and just change that to employee ID. So get rid of that and say set employee ID as follows, and get rid of all of these. Just put equals in there. There. So I'm going to update it using my employee ID. So let's bring that in here and get rid of the value. We don't need that. There. Employee ID, we say okay, employee ID equals this, where, let's say where the, yeah, come in here and just type in where the first name, where the first name equals whatever the first name is. There should be an equals here, and that is the first name right there. And here I'm going to include, let's say, and we then want the surname as well, right? Put equals in there, and that's for the surname. So I think that would do. So I'm just going to delete the rest. So come right in here, get rid of every other commands in there, and come in here, surname, get rid of this as well. Yeah, get rid of that, and enter semicolon in there, and get rid of this. I think that is correct for the, yeah, I think so. Okay, so far I can't see any error, so let's just come right here and I'm going to change the message in here. Instead of record save, I'm just going to say record updated. There we go. Then make sure you have your command dot execute non-query as well. Alright, okay, let's see, let's just save that and I'm going to run it. I want to see what's going to happen with this update. I think I should do one thing. I want to see the update in action, so I'm going to close that. Let's select this data grid view and I will go straight to the properties. Let's change the event to cell click so that I can see the data in there. So I'm going to change that to, let's double click on that. There we go. Inside cell click there, I'm going to say txt employee dot text, and that will be equals data review 1 dot selected role, and the selected role is inside an array of 0 dot cells starting with 0 dot value, and the value dot to string. There, I've just added my very first one onto the data grid view. So from the data grid view I can view whatever I have on the database. So let's come in here. This will be first name, we have surname, Then we have the address, no email. We have address underneath here. Then we have mobile phone. Mobile is called. And we then need to change all of these. So this will be 0. Array always start from 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. That is it done. So let's do one thing. I'm going to just use try catch again. Grab hold of all of this. I'm going to type in try up here. Try. Get rid of that. And just paste that underneath here. I've already copied it. Now, we still won't be able to see this. So what I'm going to do is, for us to be able to see the data inside the database, I'm going to first of all just create a function. Let's double click on the form. I'm going to create that function right underneath this initialize here. So that very function, I'm just going to enter, call it void, because it's not going to return taking any value. So void viewer. There we go. Now, and underneath that, I'm going to enter my try catch as well. Okay, we only need one, not double. So in here, let's do one thing. I'm going to copy the commands used for the form load, or for the save. This other one, I'm going to copy all of these from here up to the text, command text here. Just copy that and go back in here and just paste that in here. That will open up the database for me, and this command will take care of the rest. So I'm going to now ask the system here, I'm going to ask it to select all from my database. Is called save data. Yeah, I believe that's the name. Let's check that name out. Save data. Yep. Right. Save data. Okay. Then we end up with semicolon here. And we now want to also get it, let's say command dot execute none query. And after that, I'm going to use data table. I'm going to call it .dt, and that will be equals new data table. Now, that very data table, that will be used to open up my data grid view. But first thing first, let's say OLE DB adapter, data adapter, that I'm going to call that DP equals new OL DB data adapter, and that takes in the commands. Now dp dot fill, and that will be dt, the data table. Enter semicolon. Now data grid view dot data source, that will be equals dt. Let's close the connection. Dot close. There, connection closed. Alright. Now, since there's no error, to check if that function works, this very function, I'm going to call it with my form load. Let's come right in here. Or we can even call it inside public form1 initialize. So let's call it right in here. There. Instead of using form load. Okay, you can call it right here. So now let's save that. I'm going to run it now. Let's see. There we go. That's good, it's working. So I'm going to click on here. You see that? Now decision time to now try out the update. I'm going to change this ID to, let's say, 007 and click on update. There we go, guys. The update is working. If I click on OK, I should be able to see the update here. It takes effect immediately. Let's see that. No, it's not taking any effect. So I'm going to exit out and run it one more time. Then let's see. It should have taken effect now. Look at that. Okay, look at that. It's now 007 at the end. Okay. Alright, that's good. I think I'm going to have to increase this one way or the other. Okay, that's good. The update is working. So let's take care of delete and view, then search, and we can call it the end of the program. So let's come in here first, double click on that. So right here inside the delete, I might as well just copy. I'm going to copy everything that I have in here as well. Copy that, all the lines of code inside the update, and bring it down, paste it inside the delete button here. Now what do we want to do? First of all, let's change it to record deleted. There. And in here we need to change that to delete command. So come right in here, change that to delete, and that will be all. Delete all from, delete star from my database. Yep. Okay, the database, let's grab the database and just enter that in here. I think save data, something like that. That's the name. Okay, where the ID equals as follows. So I'm going to be using the ID as a reference. So let's get hold or delete all every other thing that we have in here. So let's select it all up to here and delete. Wait a minute, I'm going to need this. Delete that. Okay, so let's see now. Okay, once it's deleted, let's close here. There. And I will then also, let's clear this system here. I'm going to clear everything that I have in here. Once it's deleted, come in here underneath here, just paste that here. There. Right. Okay, so that should take care of my deletes. So press enter here so that you guys can see the whole lines of codes. Now undo that and press enter somewhere else. Delete ID. No, we don't need the first name. Get rid of that. We're only using the ID to delete it. That's the problem sometimes when you copy this. There we go. Let's get rid of all of that. Yeah. Okay, I think you guys can now see this is just a message box. Okay, you can now see the lines of codes. That takes care of the delete. If you're wondering why do we still have this 2.1 in here, that's to do with the variable up there that has not been used yet. These two variables. Okay, so the delete is taken care of. Now let me run the program and we delete anything. Let's see, we add some data and we try and delete that. So enter something else, and the name, let's say, is Sally Gambido. come right down here. Email is Sally@gmail. Address number 1. Let's say Hallway. Mobile number there. Add Sally's details. Yeah. Now it's not going in here straight away just yet, so I'm going to exit out and reopen it. Now open. We should be able to see that. There we go. That's Sally's details in there. If we select that now, let's click on delete. We have an error, so let's check that out. Okay, make sure it's exit and that it has his name is spelled correctly. Okay, I must have made a mistake with something there, so let's come back in the delete here. Check. I think I've found the error. That is it. The spelling of my database is wrong. I better check the name of that database instead of making another mistake. So that is it right here. Copy that and just paste it there. That's much better. I'm making minor mistakes. Paste that in there. Right. Save and let's run it one more time. It's coming up now. Select Sally's details. Click delete. Yes, we can delete. There we go. Sally's details is gone, but it's still here. We'll be taking care of that. If I exit out, yeah, and rerun it, Sally's details will be gone by now. There we go. Look at that. Alright, that is good. Or we can also call, I think I can call the viewer in here. Let's call viewer in there. The function viewer, that will refresh the whole lot for me. Grab hold of it. Copy that, go into update right underneath here. I'm going to paste the viewer there. And I'm going to, let's do one thing. I want this one to close before the message box here. Alright, let's call the viewer again. Come in here where we have delete. Where's viewer? Yeah, paste that in here. Yeah, and what else? Inside save. When we save, let's paste it right here as well. Underneath here. Close before the message. Right. Save that. So that is good. So I'm going to run it one more time. Run before we complete the rest lines of codes. Enter some values in here. And the name, let's call that Tony Montana. Address number 17, Little Venice. Oh, that's email. Cut that off, paste that in here. Email, Tony @gmail. Mobile number, add that to the system. Yeah. You see that now? It automatically appears because I called the viewer. So let's assume we delete Tony Montana's details now. There we go. You see the viewer automatically updated the data grid view. So that's taken care of as well. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 working. Now look at this one. All I just need to do is to call the viewer in there. So let's go back in there. Double click on that. Just call Mr. Viewer. There we go. Viewer. The function viewer, if you guys can still recall. So that is taken care of. Now finally, let's take care of the search function. Double click on the search button. Okay, with the search, first of all, let's go into viewer, the function viewer here. Look at it. We can just copy it anyway, so I'm going to copy everything we have inside function viewer. I could have called it, but I'm also going to add some data in there, so let's copy it all. Now go straight into my button again, the search function. Just paste that right in here. Okay, now that that is done, so what we now want to do is, you see where we have select from my database here. So I'm going to now enter where employee ID, where that is equals to the following. Okay, and that is going to be the very first one would be the, that would be the txt. Now there should be a plus sign, plus txt, the search. And right here, let's use another details in there. I'm going to say, or let's use first name. First name, that should be all. Oh, first name. Let's press enter. Go to another line. Oh, first name. And the first name, we're going to need a text properties there as well. So we say, coming right here. Let's enter that, and we say plus txt first name. No, we're using the search function again. The search, yeah, dot text. Okay, because I'm using the text, I'm using the search text box. Close that. And one other name that I can search for will be, let's say, or surname, and that will be equals txt again, that very same search function. Paste that in here, dot text, and let's just close it all up. There we go. Okay, now let's use the checks that I have up there to check how many times the system has searched. Okay, so if the data you're searching for is not on the system, this will check it out for us. So let's say checks, I believe I call it checks, that will be equals, let's say convert dot to int 32. And what are we checking? We're checking the data that we have inside dt dot rows dot count and dot to string, There we go. Now, where is this going to be displayed? It's going to be displayed inside my data review dot data source, and that will be equals dt. The source is from dt. Okay, so we can close that. And now let me just do one thing underneath here before I close up. I'm going to use an if statement. If checks equals 0, we want the following. So I want the txt search dot text, that will be equals that. And message box, let's grab a message box here that's not found. So grab all of that and come right in here, paste that here underneath. Let me paste it underneath, and I'm just going to say data not found, or record not found. Close that, and that is it. Okay, so that is done. So I'm gonna save that. Okay, let me see the codes again for that and make sure I don't have any error. Alright, it looks fine, so I'm going to run it now. Run. There. So let me just enter some more data in there. So let's say the name is John Johnson. And email, just a jj@gmail.com. And here address Goodman Road. Mobile number and let's add that. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. We've added that. So I'm now going to, let's assume we want to search for one of these guys here. So let's see if that's gonna work. So I'm gonna go for 765007. So search. There we go. Look at that, it's working. 765007 works. Okay, let's search for this guy now. Just copy that and paste that in here. Search. There we go. John details is there. That's brilliant. Okay, now I'm going to do one thing. See, I don't like the way this looks like. You see, if I run it, and you see the data is not filling up here, so let's take care of that. I'm going to go straight into form load. Double click on form load. Okay, right here inside my form load, I'm going to, let's just say data grid view 1 dot column, and that is going to start from 0. Dot width, I'm going to make that equals 112. Yeah. Okay, now copy that. Let's repeat that same for the others. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to change this one to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, 4, 5. Okay, I want the data grid view to be filled up. So let's see now. Let's run it and see. There we go. Look at that. So that's what I want. I like that. So let's enter more data here. Then we then create that of print. So, and the name is going to be, let's get my friend back online, Tony Montana. An email of Montana is, there we go, address 17 Little Venice. There. Add Montana's details. Enter new record. And the name is, let's say, Peter Jones. Email of peter.com and address number 90 Echo Ewu 8 and mobile number there we go. Enter his details there. So all that is left for us now to do is to take care of the print, but unfortunately I did not add the button here, so I'm gonna have to do that because my buddy out there would like to know how to print. So Let's exit out, come right down here and just create a button for print. Very quick one. So I'm going to have to reduce all of these buttons again one more time. Remove this one here and just reduce the buttons so that we can get print in. Okay guys, I've managed to squeeze in the print button, and the next thing I want to do now is I'm going to select this print preview, and let's go to the properties of print preview. See right here, document. We want to change the document to print document. There we go. Now the next thing is let's double click on this button. There we go, and the following lines of codes for the print button, so have a good look at it. And finally the subject in here, double click on that, and we now get to use our bitmap variable that was declared up there. So let's say e dot graphic dot draw image, and the image I want it to be the object bitmap created up there, comma, enter the following coordinates. There we go, that is it, done. And that's all there is to that. I'm going to save that, run our project, and let's see how that works. Right, so if we click on print, there we go guys, look at that, we can now print out the details of the employee. So with that guys, I want to call it the end of this tutorial. It's been a very long one and a good one too. King's Lane. Email of King is, this is Gmail. An address always Lane. There, at that. Yeah, so with that guys, I'm gonna call it the end of this beautiful tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoy it, and please do subscribe to my channel, and you can also join to become a member of this channel. And thanks for watching. You all have a nice day now, and bye for now.